Oh, gosh. Summer break for Matthias. Summer break for Chicky. What are you doing? Are you going to sit there on your iPad or you're just going to listen the whole time? You're going to listen.
Well, everybody, welcome to Beyond I Do.
Yeah.
We're
recording, Andy? Uh-huh. Okay.
Our son, Matthias, is in the building, sitting there. If you are watching, popping that gum.
Blowing gum bubbles.
Matthias, I have a question for you.
Oh, they got to just put his mic. I don't think those headphones have a microphone. Andy's giving him one.
You can answer this question, and then you can go back to Roblox, however you say it. What are you doing for Dad for Father's Day?
Getting him a card.
Okay.
You're going to give me a card for Father's Day?
We already got it.
Oh, you guys did? Mm-hmm. Oh.
So you're going to sign that? What else do you want? What else are you going to give Dad? You going to make him breakfast?
You're gonna make me breakfast?
No, tell him we're gonna DoorDash breakfast.
Yeah, I was gonna say nobody in this family except me cook. So I don't know how realistic that would have been.
Donuts for Dad, huh?
Do you like Mom's cooking?
Yeah.
Yeah. What does she cook?
Yeah, I'm like, wait.
He gave you an answer.
Hey, what does Daddy cook for you on the grill?
It went out.
What does Daddy cook for you on the grill, Matthias?
I can't hear you.
You can't hear me?
Oh, what?
Can you hear me now?
Yeah.
Dang. Okay, Mr. Perfectionist.
Yeah,
I can't hear myself. Please turn it up.
What does Daddy cook for you on the grill?
Honey, what does Daddy make? Steak.
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 Golly. Boo.
Yeah. Like, man, his memory is really
Right,
losing it
right,
already.
Exactly. We can change him out. Thank you. That is our
Matthias,
guest for the day.
You're on summer break. What are you going to do for summer break?
At the Disneyland.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
You're doing that tonight.
We're doing that today.
Yeah. Yeah, that's about it. Good job, Matthias.
Good job, Matthias. You're such a talkative person.
Right. Yeah. Talk all day, every day until the
camera's on, right?
Camera's on. Yeah, exactly. All right. In light, you had Andy. You get that video I emailed you? No, he didn't.
No.
He's like, I gotta start checking my email. But I'll let you. You welcomed already.
Yeah,
everybody to be on
yeah.
you do.
Yep.
Today we got Chelsea sitting, hanging to, continue to draw conversation out.
Yeah.
As Nancy does. And
Nancy. Oh, as Nancy does.
Yeah, Nancy normally is in that
Gotcha.
seat, and Nancy, provokes with questions and stuff like that.
We got chocolate drop in the building.
Yeah.
Call me chocolate. They call me chocolate.
Smooth chocolate.
Be provoking.
Smooth chocolate.
Hey, given on, this is Beyond I Do, but Beyond the Ladder, they all get released under the same umbrella. Chelsea, ever since that one when we questioned you on your dating life, has anyone, any prospects now that they knew you were on the market? Did any...
No, there's been no prospects. I think they got scared that they would end up on
Get
a podcast.
those guys? Yeah.
No prospects. So
Got
still
it.
single, ready to mingle.
Okay.
Amen.
So because of that episode, no one...
No.
Everybody's scared of you now.
They're scared of you now. You're the one.
They're going to give me free content.
Yes.
Dang. All right.
Well, that's.
You want to lead in what you want to talk about today?
Yeah. So
Just
there
open
was.
it. Andy will work towards getting the video.
So there was a video. Apparently, it was either yesterday or today that kind of has sparked interest to everyone, and it is a podcast of a husband and a wife talking, and they were talking about Father's Day, how they aren't doing Father's Day this year as a family. And the reason why they've decided not to, I forget what the reason when they said this year they're not doing it, but last year they didn't.
I think I know the reason why, yeah.
What did she say?
Well, it's both and. They're both a little, have, different view. I don't want to.
He's trying to be careful with his words.
Yeah. Well, his view is Father's Day comes near his birthday.
Yes.
And he believes.
His son's birthday.
No, his birthday. His birthday.
But last.
No, she was pregnant with their son. It was his birthday.
His birthday, yes.
And he was mad that she married both birthday and Father's Day into one day.
Yeah.
So then this year he's saying, I want 2 different days. So 90 days after Father's Day, he wants Father's Day celebrated.
Yes, because he wants
he wants his birthday to be a birthday and not a Father's Day. But then to her too, it seemed like she didn't have any interest at all to like
She did not
celebrate
care.
it,
She was like, I bought you a Dairy Queen cake.
Yeah.
You better be happy. I was pregnant.
So it seems like it's
I
like
really
the
didn't
comments
care.
are pretty 50-50 in terms of like,
They were.
oh, she should care more about this, and then him like, oh, he's selfish. She wants 2 different days.
Yeah.
So it the comments seem pretty split between people.
Yeah.
So we have that clip, and then
But you, don't you share a birthday with
Yeah.
Matthias?
I share a birthday with Matthias. Me and Matthias got
June
the same
23rd.
birthday.
June
You cheeky
23rd.
puppy.
My mom's birthday too.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Special day.
How old you
Yeah.
turning on June 23rd, Matthias? 6 years old.
How are
All
you
right.
turning? 6 too?
Yeah. 6D. 60.
When you're married to
Mentally
me.
60.
We got the video. when
Okay,
y'all
go
ready.
ahead. Go ahead.
We've decided as a family that we are not celebrating Father's Day this year.
Father's Day, it's always in June, and it's like
Last
always
year
around.
was June 18th, which is Matt's birthday. So he had
Yes.
Father's Day and his birthday on the same day. And
So sad.
I will say I did kind of combine the holidays.
You did combine the two of them. It's okay though. I mean, you were pregnant, you were uncomfortable, you were
We
close.
just gotten back from our baby moon that
Yeah.
day. I got you a cake from DQ.
I guess we had
And
just
had
gotten
our
home.
family over and grilled.
Well, I grilled, but I know a lot of dads grill on their birthday.
Yeah.
But yeah, we had
And
Father's
I grew
Day.
your child
You did grow my child.
all day, every day.
But like Father's Day and my birthday were the same exact day.
Yeah, and I kinda-
it kind of was a bummer.
I'm going to be honest with you, I failed you.
Hey,
I'm so sorry.
but you know what? This year, we're boycotting Father's Day for the month of June and celebrating it 3 months after my birthday.
I want to be a fly on the wall in their house. That was just
Andy.
Oh, whoa.
that was
Do you like Father's Day?
You know, I don't care about any day, to be honest, Chelsea.
I 100% believe you.
I have Matthias is laughing. He don't know what he's laughing at. Yeah, I have this issue with lacking empathy about much of anything. So,
Yeah.
or emotional connection to anything.
You feel like you need therapy for that? Or what?
No, I feel like I'm good because Here's my fear is like I like it. I feel like people like the version of me. I feel like if I ever went to therapy, they'd
Yeah.
break me.
Yeah, yeah.
Like they would like wouldn't be me no more.
Yeah.
That's how I felt when I got diagnosed with ADHD and they started prescribing Adderall. I did Adderall for like maybe 9 months, and then at the end of it, I was just like, I don't feel like I'm me. I feel like a side of me died. Where like if someone's doing that, that's fine, more power to them. But to me, it felt like a version of me that made me feel special died. So it was like I'd rather learn how to work with this. I don't know what they call it, disease, whatever it is. But I'm like, I'd rather figure out how to like use it to my advantage. And if it's debilitating, then I'll figure out, what to do to address it. But like, yeah, when I get prescribed, I was doing it and I was just like, I was doing good in school and stuff like that. But my like creativeness died. My desire to want to learn new things kind of died. My ability to catch a lot of things at once and retain them kind of died. But I was focused and got my task done and my room was clean and it just didn't. So I feel like,
Weren't you?
yeah. So anyways, that was a tangent. Say like, I feel like if I addressed why I don't care, but like as a wife, like that's a great husband to have who has that problem
Yeah.
that like, now I have to work to make, and I try to make days special for her, but she's kind of the same way.
Yeah.
So
and that's one thing that I actually really enjoy about the both of us. It's like we never, when people are like, "What are you doing?" When it was my 30th, and I was like, he was like, "We're gonna do something good," and then I got a hyperactive thyroid, and I was like, I really am just thankful to be alive. Like I'm thankful that I figured out what it was, and I don't care. I'm at 30.
Yeah.
And then the only thing that I made a big deal was his 30th because his birthday is in the summer. So that's why we try to make Matthias's birthday so special around family and friends, is because they're they're on summer school. So generally when kids have their birthdays during school, you get to celebrate with their classrooms, you get to celebrate with your friends. They're already there, so you can have great connections quickly to do a party on the weekend with the school friends. But like having a summer birthday, Adam was like, yeah, I always my dad was either on sabbatical or he was working. And so for the most part, I never got a birthday, and because it's in the summer, and they're like, oh, happy birthday, and then kind of went on with it. So as his wife and like celebrating his birthday, I found out early on, like, he's not like, let's go out to dinner. Yeah, it is.
Yeah. Bugging me.
Let's go out to dinner and have all friends and family around. The only birthday, like, I was like, I have to make big for him is his 30th. And that was surrounded around friends and family.
Yeah.
And then he got it. And then he was like, this is amazing. And then he was like, all right, I'm Gucci.
Yeah.
Like, it was like, I don't have to have anything.
It was a lot of fun, and it meant a lot to me because I probably have had like maybe 3 birthdays my whole life that I can remember. Like being celebrated.
Why does that make me sad? And you're probably just fine.
Yeah,
Oh,
I'm
yeah.
cool with it.
Yeah.
I'm cool with
Yeah.
it.
Yeah.
As
but-
far as I can remember, I think I maybe have had 3 birthdays. Like with friends over, like a cake blowing. I've done some stuff with, and then probably by the time I was like, probably even then in between they're younger, I probably had a couple times of, like I still had a cake at home with candles, but then it was just like my brothers and my mom and dad. And so that like that, but it was like, it wasn't a party. It was just like a cake at the end of the day. And then by the time I was 13, I'm pretty sure that even like the cake and candles went away too. And then it became like, there was a season in our lives, like getting older, where it was just like my parents would go to a Cheesecake Factory Friday at 3:00. And they would tell us, like when we were 18, 19, 20, like, hey, if any of you guys are in the area Friday at 3, feel free to join us. It's open invitation.
It was
so like if
never
your
a
birthday,
demand,
if your birthday fell between one of those days, and it'd be like, hey, we're gonna celebrate Friday at 3.
At 3,
at
at
Cheesecake.
Yeah, literally.
Wait, so how did your family celebrates?
It's like a religion.
Yeah.
So then
Yeah.
yours doesn't. So when you guys got married, how did you guys deal with the differences of how you guys grew up and celebrated?
Well, Adam has now. I would say you would appreciate.
I think it's
it so
important.
much because he's like, it's very important. So my mom is the one that's like over the top. Like, we need to sing happy birthday. Like, that is, we sing Jesus happy birthday on Christmas. Like, that's the type of person she is. So because she just wants you to know that she's thinking about you on
But
your
for
birthday.
them, it has to be that day.
Yeah, it does have to be
the
that
day.
day. It
Like the
does.
day
Like
of your
not the day
birthday.
before or day
No.
after?
No, like you'd be like, hey, we're so busy, blah, blah, blah. Like
She's like,
either it's
I don't
happening
care.
the day of or it's just not going to happen.
Like
But
if
it
it's on
has
a
to happen the
Thursday,
day
y'all
of.
like wait until Friday.
No.
It'll be on
We're
Thursday.
Everybody's
all
getting off of
going
work
and
early,
going in
or
at
you're-
5 and 6, and we're going to sing happy birthday. Yeah, so like this year, Charlie's birthday.
Or if you're traveling, everyone's getting on FaceTime. Like there's
Yes.
been a couple times Allie's been away for work
Yeah,
on her
so
birthday,
she's-
but we all go to the house, we all
still-
FaceTime
yeah.
Allie, and we all sing happy birthday
Birthday,
and have
yeah.
a cake without her there, like
Yeah.
type of thing.
Wow.
Yeah.
So like
Yeah.
this year, Charlie's birthday's on the 16th, which is Father's Day. I know we have a guest in, and then I asked Charlie, I was like, "What do you want to do?" She's like, "I really don't care." She's like, "I know my family's gonna sing to me," so she's like, "Let's do it." So something like that, though. She would say, I'll do it on that Friday or that Saturday, knowing that Father's Day is that day. She's well enough and aware enough to where I think that is that's what I would say to the video. Like, I know his birthday fell on that Sunday. She bled them together, which I wouldn't have, obviously being Father's Day, because I would have been like, hey, one or the other. Let it be Father's Day, and then Monday, we're celebrating you. We're going to celebrate
But
you.
he's being celebrated regardless. Father's Day, birthday. So
Well-
why can't we just celebrate on one day?
Well, because I honestly think that for that reason, like it being even for him, when him and Matthias having the same birthday, like that's still kind of like, I'm taking you out to dinner.
Yep.
When you and I need to still do something. Like last year. So this is what happened last year, which I told him. I said, hey, we're throwing a birthday for Matthias on his birthday, June 23rd. I'm taking you away because we don't have time after your birthday. We're going to Palm Springs in July because that's the next time you're available. I still got him a gift and everything and celebrated him there. We still sang for him happy birthday. But me as a wife, I wanted to celebrate not 90 days, but like 20 something 10 15 days later. I don't think it makes any sense for him to say, oh yeah, I'm gonna get Father's Day 90 days later. Now you're just making up a date.
Yeah.
Then you throw your birthday 90 days later. What's the
yeah.
difference? Like,
There's no difference.
there's no difference.
There's no
So I think like if you're gonna plan something, do it like the day after or the day before to say, hey, like for Mother's Day, we knew for Mother's Day, this Mother's Day, it was like Christmas. We were with my mom in the morning playing pickleball, or after
we were at
church in the morning. And then we went and played pickleball, had Chinese food, and then left, and then went and met his mom for dinner at Mediterranean. So like we had to split the day, but he's like, Ashley, I want you to feel like it's a Mother's Day and not, Matthias, you were all up in the way. Good grief, bro. He's like, I want you to feel like Mother's Day was that you felt loved. So he's like, I want to take you out to dinner. And I appreciate you as a wife, as a mother to my kids. And then sometimes you just, it sounds terrible, but I just wanted a quiet dinner.
Yeah.
Because I knew what the next
the
day was
kids.
about to be. And so he was like, so I took that as thank you. You took initiative to take me out the day before and thought about me, knowing that, and I wouldn't have cared either way, but this was an excuse to just have a quiet dinner. We don't really make it that big of a deal, but he was just like, we're celebrating my mom and your mom. I don't want you to feel like you weren't celebrated. Yeah. So that's all. And it's just like a simple, like, because for her, even in her comments and her statements, I feel so bad for her, but she's just like, she looked tired. She looked like she was exhausted saying that statement, even though it was a year ago. Mm-hmm. So for her, it was, but I think it's all the heart behind it. I think as long as you're intentional with the heart behind it, that seemed like it was just so much chaos. It just needed a pause.
Yeah, I mean, it's odd that he, and every person's different, so he could have been raised a certain way, but the idea he has to have a birthday, he has to have Father's Day, they have to feel different to him. Like, I mean, to someone that may sound normal. To me, that sounds odd. But also, none of those days matter to me in general. So, like, I have to do the opposite. I have to actually like tell myself this day's important. Yeah. Coming up to Mother's Day or your birthday, like I have to tell myself. I like giving you gifts. So gifts to me is it goes with the holiday, but like the day itself, the like, oh, we're gonna do this and that and this and this. Like I'm romantic, so I can do that stuff in terms of like getting you a gift or make it being really thoughtful or whatever. But like if but the day itself or the moment itself, like that doesn't register to me as like it needing to be special or unique or separate or whatever
do you feel
that
like
is.
That's a male thing versus a female thing? And do you like?
Well, the guy speaking's a male who needed the separate day,
which is so interesting, but that's
so
odd because I don't see a lot of men caring in the way that he did. So what makes you feel like, oh, I am loved, I am seen, I'm cared for? And do you feel like women don't do a good job at catering to the emotions of a man versus a man to a woman in a relationship?
Yeah, maybe. I feel like so for me, I had to think about that.
You guys, because I'll tell you this, I'm terrible. I cannot keep a gift a secret. He already knows his birthday present. He already knows his Father's Day present. Because I'm so eager and excited because I thought so hard about it. And then I got with his brother and I'm like, this has to be the best gift ever. Let's think about like the last 6 months. What has he been thinking about? What has he been talking about? And so I've been itching at wanting to give it to him. And he knows my heart because he knows I'm that excited to give it to him. So it doesn't matter to him what day I gave it to him.
You already gave him his birthday gift?
It's done.
She told it to me already, which it's in like 2.5 weeks.
Yeah, I can't wait. Yeah. I literally can't wait.
It's not even here yet. It's in the mail.
But we're gone on Monday, and so he would be at home, and he would be like, "What's this box with this brand on it?" And I'd be like,
"Just say, wait, it's your gift. You can't hold that for 2 weeks."
Oh no, because then I've been like, "Open it, tell me what you think." I'm terrible.
Well, her birthday and our anniversary is one day apart.
Yeah.
So October 15th is her birthday. October 16th is our wedding anniversary. So she picked those. I guess for me, what makes me feel seen and validated would probably be, and I think we talked about it a little bit on this pod, awareness of my hard work. Like if she somehow correlates the two, either we're at dinner or just in a statement or whatever, and she states, thank you for how hard you've been working, or I appreciate have you been taking care of us, or whatever. To me, it really it's as simple as a sentence. Like I don't need her to give me a gift. I work really hard and I have multiple companies. So relatively speaking, if there's something I want to buy, I can save and work hard to buy it myself. There's nothing I'd expect her to do, even though the gift she did get me for my birthday was something that I wouldn't spend my money on, because for me, it's a pair of shoes that I've always liked. I just wouldn't spend the money on them. I'd spend it on something else. So the fact she did it, I was like, oh, you know how long I've been looking at these. I've tried them on in the store, and then I've been like, I'm not spending this much on these. Yeah. But sometimes I'll try something on and to decide, like, do I want to put money aside every month to get to the point that I buy this? And then once I decide, no, I really need to do this, or I really should do this. So she caught that part, and I was like, oh, that's really thoughtful. You picked up on something that you know that I wasn't going to buy, but you know I've been wanting. So like there's little moments. Sometimes she wins in that way perceptively, or even Nathan pays attention to. But a lot of times before she can even get me something, I may have already got it. So and also because I don't get a lot of things.
Yeah,
so
and so
it's it's limited.
So then I guess I would say that's the hard part, even when it comes to Adam, because he's so.
It's like, are you happy? Are you excited?
Well, chill. And so it's one of those where like a gift, he's like, I'm easy, and I'm like, bro.
Yeah.
No, you're not. Like, you're not. And obviously hearing what he's saying, like the gift is your appreciation. And I get that, but I'm very much like a gift giver. Like, I'm gonna give you gifts. But so that's what's hard, because he's very just he's happy. Like he doesn't complain much. He doesn't say much, but when he does, I listen.
I'm content.
He's very content. And so like even when like, so I think he has bled off onto me, because even now, like when it comes to like my birthdays and things like that, he's like, what do you want to do? I'm like, I honestly just want to be with my family, have cake, ice cream, and pizza. That's my birthday every year. Like someone tried to plan something for my 35th, and I'm like, yeah, I don't care to do that. And and then Allie even said the same thing. She's like, don't do that. She's not gonna want that. Yeah. Like she very much like, I just want to be with my family. I just want to be with my husband, my kids, my mom. And then it's just this. It's just a safe place and space. So I'm the type too now, like where I tell my mom, hey, if I'm busy on my birthday or if it falls on a random day, let's do it 2 days before. I'm very much okay. The day of my birthday, it does not matter to me. It doesn't have to be the specific day. So we're trying to kind of get in that avenue of like, hey, it doesn't have to be that day. And then Adam has also been so good too now, sharing a birthday with your son, because that's hard, because he's like, I don't want to make it about me. I want it to be about my son.
I love it. I don't care.
We see.
I love it. Yeah.
This is a question.
Happy that my birthday is the same day.
This is a question. It's a complete pivot, but I have a friend whose boyfriend took her out for her birthday on a trip. And they're dating. They're both Christian, trying to be celibate, but they shared a room for the birthday celebration in a different state. How do y'all feel about that? You know, like trying to be celibate, right? We got 2 separate beds, but we're by ourselves in Mexico. Like, how do you feel about that?
Well, here's the short thing that I feel about it in terms of, are they engaged?
No.
Yeah, okay. So that's the problem I have in it, because what you're doing in terms of creating boundaries is you're mitigating risk. To me, what dating is a pursuit towards marriage with a mitigation of risk of breakup and tarnished memories. And so the problem I have with it wouldn't really be an ethical problem, because somewhat ethically speaking, you know, you're remaining abstinent, you're sleeping in separate beds. So for all intents and purposes, you're still being, you know, pure or whatever that may be. But although that may be the truth, you're also sharing a flight together, a hotel room together, these memories together that some people would say, oh, it's important to see if you should marry, you know, them. I don't think that that's an essential aspect of experience to decide whether you want to marry someone. So my question would be to them, number one, if you're ready to go to a hotel on a trip together, what is keeping you guys from getting engaged and getting married? Like, what's stopping you? You know, to me, that's an expression. To me, that's a bonus of a marriage, is being able to do those type of things. So, what is keeping you? And if they're like, oh, well, just more time, maybe in a year or two, it's like, so why do you need to go on a trip to Mexico together right now? Why can't you do that next year? Why can't you do that in 24 months? Why can't he go with his friends? Why can't you go with your friends? Why is this an essential thing as part of your relationship that you need? Because here's the thing. If you break up, that space, that hotel, that area is now off limits to whoever their future spouse is going to be. Because more than likely, they'll never touch it. So one day the spouse goes, oh, I saw on the TikTok this awesome hotel in Mexico. We should go. Now, what is he going to do? Is he either going to say, I went with my ex-girlfriend, and then that actual person you're spending the rest of your life with is going to be like, I thought you said you were celibate when you dated her. Well, we slept in separate beds, I promise. Yeah, okay.
Yeah.
Like now you're dealing with marital conflict with the actual person that you're with. Vice versa, same thing with her. I'd ask her, what if the man you're going to marry one day, how do you think he'll feel that you were in a hotel with another guy in Mexico? It doesn't feel good.
Yeah.
So mitigate risk. But I feel like I'm going to marry them. Well, I was in a 4-year relationship that we were going to get married. Ashley was in a relationship where the guy had a ring and she was going to get married. Guess what? They're not in our lives. And so it's less about, is this ethically right or wrong? It's more of like, what boundaries are you putting in place to protect the actual person you're going to marry one day? And if it's them, if they end up marrying each other, then guess what? You guys missed out on nothing, because now you get to do that for the rest of your life.
Yeah.
So you didn't miss out on anything. So that to me is where it's more of the, hey, just be aware, be careful. It's not necessary. It's don't connect yourself to things that when people talk about a spiritual stronghold or whatever it is, all it is emotional and spiritual experiences that are not godly, that are just continually pulling on you and your memory and your heart and your spirit. And so to me, it would be unwise. Now, if they were engaged, I'd probably just perspective a little bit. And I personally probably wouldn't have too much of a problem if they were engaged. There's still opportunity for breakup. But there's also a certain level newfound, like, that's real commitment. And so,
or it's going with friends. It's going with friends, and then sharing a room, and then the girls share the bed and the guys share the bed.
Yeah, because I was gonna say Is this on?
Your mic's not on.
Can you turn this on, Andy? Did you press the button? Test. You guys can't hear me?
Yeah, it's on now. It wasn't on a second ago.
Because I forgot the year, and I even forget if me and Jasmine were engaged or not. But so many couples always find themselves in situations where they want to qualify a scenario. So me and Jasmine wanted to go on to Zion National Park and go hike there. And we went down this road of how could we make it happen so that we cover ourselves, so that we don't put ourselves in a compromise. So we literally did all the things. Got 2 friends, got Eileen to go with us. We shared a bed. They were a witness that I slept on the other side. That whole trip, I didn't even kiss Jasmine. And I will still say to this day, I should have just not done it. Not because
Really?
Yeah, not even because we didn't even get close to slipping up or touching each other. Nothing even weird. I just wouldn't do it again because what felt weird was just trying to put all these things in place to make it not weird. When realistically it's like, okay, you're setting something up to be like, well, we're just as friends, but you're not.
Right. Why couldn't it wait until the day that you guys got married and say, hey, let's actually have a great time, an intimate time, to where we can have more memories, although you now are exposed, you're having to share these things that you want to share with the person that obviously you love with everyone else. Yeah, and your intention in the beginning was not to share it with anybody, because now you're trying to implement everyone else in.
And the best case scenario of that trip was me getting to sleep with my wife. If you look at it like, you don't sleep with her like that. No, not like that. Like literally lay in bed, just like sleep. You're in my head, I go, well, this is the cheap version of what it would be if we were married.
It feels like a cheat code.
Yeah, exactly. So even telling my younger self, because I got married young and I always talk to young people, I use myself as the bad example when they're like, you got married young. You've done a trip with your fiance, and I'm like, yeah, and I wouldn't have. Looking back, so now I get to talk to you, a young person who said, "Don't do this stupid thing." And they hate that because I'm like, I just gotta be honest with you.
Yeah.
All right, everybody, welcome to our advertisement.
Yeah.
So you're watching our episode. We did a short break.
Yep.
What do we got a little break for, Ashley?
Oh, something really, really exciting that when you came home and told me about the news, I was overjoyed, and I hope you had 30 pieces, but you only had one, but it's okay. We are going to be talking about our new partnership.
Yes.
With an amazing jeweler.
Yes. So we have big news. We've teamed up with the exceptional jeweler, Aaron Barnett, to bring you a unique jewelry experience from precious metals to custom creations. Aaron has it all, whether you're treating yourself or surprising a loved one. So it could be for you or someone you love, okay? Mother, grandmother, sibling, spouse, a loved one. His jewelry is a testament to cherished moments. As part of our community, you get special discounts and a chance to visit his private showroom in Los Angeles. So for anniversaries, birthdays, or just because, discover Aaron's jewelry in our show notes. Elevate your relationships with exquisite pieces from our partner, Aaron Barnett. It's a great relationship that we have because now we can offer great discounts to our Beyond I Do community to hook them up. And so you visit, like we said, visit the show notes, and let's get back into the show.
So to that whole situation,
you put me and Ashley did the same. We were engaged. We did a trip to San Francisco, me and her, and looking back, like it really wasn't necessary. The problem is like you're trying to progress your relationship in your life so fast without the one thing that actually is a true progressor, which is marriage. Right. So it's like let's go on a trip together, let's go do this together, and her and I didn't fool around on that trip or whatever, and so we convince ourselves on why making the memory is important, because you have a career and we have jobs and we were able to afford to go on this trip to San Francisco, but it's also like, but it could have waited 12 months, right? The very act of fighting your flesh and wanting to be celibate, like that alone was a battle in and of itself, rather than just 12 months later being married, being like, hey, you want to go back to the room and make love? It is like, let's do it. Like now you have this freedom where you're not sweating and nervous and, and trying to fight your flesh. Like now it's like, oh, we're married. And then now you get to the point, we're at, which is 12 years together, 9 years married. And it's like, you have to have the opposite effect. You actually have to fight to be in a room alone together. Now, because chaos is life, and we got kids, and we have people in our lives, and we have family members and in-laws, and so now her and I actually have to fight to be like, hey, let's go 2 nights together, just us.
Wait, what is that gauge? Like, how do you guys gauge in your marriage? And maybe you can even speak on this when you're like, we need to get away. Like, what are those moments?
Yeah, there are definitely signs for sure.
Yeah. There's definitely signs. I would say that Adam catches on when I need it more, just because I do take a load on with the kids, because he can work all day. He can work all day, but he can tell when I get to a point of like, bro, I am like maxed. Or even now my mom's starting to gather like, hey, I'll take the kids, or hey, I'll help you out here. And his mom has been doing the same, like, hey, we see how much it is. But then I also have that mom guilt of like, well, I want to be with my kids. So I have to find that healthy balance of like, hey, this is intentional. So like at the end of this month, we're going up to a conference with some friends, and we normally take the kids. And this one, I was like, you know what? I just want to enjoy the conference. Although I do enjoy it when I'm there, it's like right when they say amen, I'm mommy again. There's no like, hey, let's talk about the message. Hey, let's go out to eat after. Hey, let's be able to hang out with more friends or connect with other people. And so for me, I think it's being more intentional of like, because Adam's like, bring the kids, do whatever you want. So he pretty much lets me run the ship when it comes to the kids and stuff. But like when I'm like, no, I need this time just away, like just him and I to just be alone, because I know what's to come for our future. All of July, we're together 24/7, us as a family. Yeah. 24/7, because Matthias is out of school, he's on sabbatical, and so we're at an end of where we're like, this is family time. So getting those moments alone aren't going to be there as much in July. So I need to take initiative now in June to make sure like, hey, let's go on a date night. let's do this.
Well, normally the signs, though, are lack of intimacy, short-tempered with each other, annoyed by each other. Normally we think it's the opposite, like, oh, I'm annoyed by her, we're yelling at each other a lot, we need a break from each other. It's the opposite.
Yeah.
It's like, actually, probably we haven't had
Enough time
any
together.
time together. So it's normally those things, like, how long has it been since we've been intimate? How long has it been since we've been alone together? How long has it been since we haven't been around
And I'll
the kids?
I'll say
you know?
this, but even for the listeners and viewers, it's not even the intimate. It's because intimacy can be one thing, but it's a genuine intimacy, not a rushed intimacy, because there's a difference.
Yeah.
Because we've had the rush, and then we still are at each other's throat. We were like, we just did that to do it, to make
Yeah.
it seem like it happened. But other than that, I would say that is something that's really important, is the intimacy part, because then you feel free. You're like, oh, I saw you physically, emotionally, and now I can, now we're at peace.
How can
Now we're
couples
happy.
fight the urge when they are short-tempered and all these signs to not let me go be with my friends and just separate? I think there's moments where you do need to just go be with your homies and be with your girls. But how do you gauge as a couple, hey, this is time where we actually need to come together, or this is time where we actually need to go be with other people and just take a minute?
Well, the way that I fragment is like you have Christian liberties, right? Christian liberties are things that you have freedoms that you could enjoy as a Christian, like, you know, having a glass of wine, that's a Christian liberty, or any of the other Christian liberties that are in there that are freedoms, but they're freedom in Christ, but they can become sin very fast, right? Smoking a cigar, like there's no verse that innately says you can't smoke a cigar, but can it turn into sin? Yeah, it could turn into sin really fast. As someone who says, well, yeah, but your body's the temple of the Holy Spirit. You know, you're saying that while you're drinking a Coca-Cola and going to McDonald's. So hush on the body. Your body's a temple of the Holy. You know, unless you have less than 5% body fat and you work out 6 days a week, don't tell me your body's a temple of the Holy Spirit as the only argument on why someone can't have a Christian freedom. So you have these Christian freedoms, right? I would even say a Christian freedom is that level of enjoyment with your friends, going to a restaurant, whatever. Like, that's a freedom, but it also can, you know, like if I'm hanging out with my guy friends more than I'm hanging out with my wife, or find more solitude in them than I do my wife, then there's an issue that has overridden. So for me, I believe all Christian freedom should be enjoyed when you are at your healthiest. When you are unhealthy, Christian freedoms should actually not be engaged. So like if you are going through anxiety, depression, emotional outbreaks, then guess what? Like a glass of wine could be your ruin, you know, because then it could turn into 2, 3, 4, 5, because you're not emotionally well. If you're not emotionally well and you go hang out with your friends, depending on what type of friends they are, that could actually be the worst thing for you, right? You and your wife, you're going through it and you're like, oh, I just need a break from her. I need to go hang out with my friends. And then you're trashing on your wife the whole time. And then your guy friends are like, yeah, she is trash. You know, like that's not good. So really you got to lock in with your spouse. And so to me, like if me and Ashley weren't good, or we were like unhealthy that day or arguing that day, I would not go hang out with my guy friends because it wouldn't be good for me. Because I wouldn't have anything in that moment to say good about Ashley. And if they're your friends, you are going to talk about life. You are going to talk about circumstance. Like that is not the place that right now I should be sharing that with. I should make sure that me and my wife are good. And then I'm going to engage in that outing next week or whenever that is, or I'm going to postpone it type of thing. So to me, like your marriage is your priority. Your family is your priority in terms of being healthy together. So I'd be honest, if I was going to hang out with my friends, I'd be like, hey guys, I can't make it tonight. I have some other things I have to take care of. And so I'd say on rare occasions, if you're married, you need to just go hang out with your friends if there's tension in your spouse. Now, there are times Ashley recommends, hey, you should go hang out with your buddies, but that's because I'm stressed with work and life and bills and the busyness of the schedule. And she knows there's nothing I can do to help you other than you just going and laughing with your friends, Adam, and goofing off and making fun of each other. And hey, like that's different than me and Ashley not even wanting to see each other. And she can be like, you want to know what's good? Would be good for you? Having a break from me. Go hang out with your boys. You know, like that's not going to go well. You know,
that's what I want.
Yeah. It's not going to probably end too well. So to me, I think all Christian liberty should be enjoyed when you are at your best. or pursuing your best. Like there's no emergency thing you need to handle. But unfortunately, I know people who their marriage is just it's in DEFCON 4. And then they're like, every time I come home, I'm just leave. I want to go see my friends, or I'm just not present. It's like, well, then no improvement is going to happen. You're not going to see fruit. It's not going to happen unless if you have cancer in the body, go address it. And if your marriage is cancerous right now, until you put in the hard work, maybe you do need therapy with your marriage, your spouse. Maybe you need to go sit with a pastor, or maybe you need to, work on some things together, or maybe some couples, we tell them like, you just need to, when was the last time you guys got away, just you? Oh, 8 years, like 8 years. Man, go 3 days to San Diego, please.
Yeah.
There's stuff like that.
I was talking to somebody about that this morning, how I said the importance, because she had just came back from a trip in Hawaii, and she was just saying how amazing it was that she got to be with her family, be with her kids and her husband. And you could just tell on her face today that she was so refreshed. And I said, it's very important, and I know it's a privilege to be able to travel or to be able to get away. But whatever that may be, if it's a night away, if it's 2 days away, I think it's very important for couples to be able to also invest just in themselves. And she goes, oh no, me and my husband already have something planned in July, because you and Adam had made a mention about how the importance of just the rekindling and reconnecting in this time away, and how important it is for your marriage. And I said, yeah, when I get back from a trip, it's like I've fallen in love with my husband all over again. There's this rejuvenation, there's this fun, there's this childlike intimacy that has happened all over again. And we just can live in it until we know that, hey, okay, when's the next one coming? Because we've been a little distant, let's rekindle this again, and it keeps it fresh. And so for us, that's something that have found that's really important. Like even a night away, one night away, go to dinner and then spend the night in a hotel and come back the next day.
How'd you guys find that rhythm?
I mean,
did you guys have this awareness when y'all first got married?
Kind of, yeah, because
yes.
Nathan and Sanaz already had that rhythm, and they were married 2 years before we got married. So by the time we got married, that was a rhythm Nathan put in place. It took a couple years for us to actually
financially be able to do it too.
Financially be able to do it and see the importance of it.
Yeah.
And it took a couple years before we even had kids. So every day was us, getting away. We ended the night every night with each other. So it wasn't till, we were 3 years in our marriage before we had Matthias. And then once you have kids on it, now you start seeing the value of it. And it probably was a year later after that, because your first kid is going to be the one you're going to be most mother henned with and stuff like that. So we were like, no, we want to be there for Matthias. By the time Thomas comes around.
Yeah, second kid, they don't care.
I think Thomas was like 6 months old when we first left him for 10 days or something like that. So it's like, and we built, and we knew that rhythm, and we're better parents to them when we get time together. We were just talking to two of our other friends who were on a trip, and she said, I just felt so guilty leaving my sons. And I said, what you don't realize is you coming home, you are far more healthier than you were the week before coming in, because you got rest, you got time to reflect, you do appreciate your children more, you do value. And, maybe that is Western problems or, first world country problem. Maybe it is, but reality is that is our world. That is our reality. We, in America, we work hard. We have everybody works crazy schedules. Everybody tends to be in debt. There's all these working pressures that the Western system has given you that, time to try to go rest and recalibrate, though it may be a first world problem, it is still very important. Even to a degree, like for you and I this week, we were at work, my mom was watching the boys, and she texted back later at night and was just like, hey, Thomas is asleep already. I just keep at the house and stay the night, and you guys can have the night to yourself. So we came home from work, and we just chilled, and then we ate. Well, no, I cooked a steak.
Oh, you cooked a steak.
You and I sat over the island together.
Yep.
We ate steak together. We talked a bit.
Yep.
And then we both went to bed. We were like, you want to watch a movie? Do you want to? And we're like, no, let's go lay in bed. But next day we were great. Like we felt great, in terms of just getting some rest and not having to go home and get the boys settled for bed and bath. My mom was like, I'll do that tonight. And that didn't happen all the time. But
and then when we got him, it was like this patience of peace that we have with our kids. because we haven't had them. We didn't have them for what, maybe 24 hours. But then getting them back, there was this new level of like, I haven't seen them. The first thing I'm not going to do is yell at them, regardless of what kind of day I had. I haven't seen them. They don't deserve a yell or a shout or a discipline. So I have the utmost patience for them because I miss them. And I appreciate them. And that's kind of what you were saying about our friends. Like, even when you're away for at least a day or two, there is this found appreciation that you still do have for your children. And it's like, I'm going to be a better me because I know I have more time because I didn't spend that time with you while we were away. So I am able to be more patient. Yeah. Adam last night is building Matthias's bike and letting him, they rode their bike for about 20 minutes outside after him. Mind you, it's 9 o'clock at night. And Adam's like, yeah, let's go outside. Let's go ride your bike. Let's go hang out, like, sort of thing. So there's this level of peace. And then, I mean, like, he's running around all today, like, and we all got all the patience in the world right now.
Have you guys seen this meme that, I know this applies mainly for...
Is your mic on or is it not?
No, test.
Yeah, you need to just talk into it closer. Yeah.
Okay. Have you guys seen the meme where it's literally, I know this is true for young kids, like, it's a meme that just says, remember that time we chose to be parents in another zip code and called it a vacation?
Oh,
and it's
yes.
just, you know,
yeah.
Because when you have a 6-month-old, you're just on there.
Yeah.
That's the motivation. So me and Jasmine recently went on a vacation, and that was the big thing. It was like, are we going to bring Valor? Or are we not? And I'm like, we ain't bringing this boy because then we're just going to be parents on a cruise ship.
Yeah.
You know, two
getting
people
that
who
time
love each
together
other,
and
reconnect. That was a great decision, and I don't know how, and it's not because of the financial reasons, but I really don't know how couples elect to be like, well, while my kid's under 1, we're not doing anything. Because a lot of people don't even make it out of the 1-year-old phase with the love they have for each other because the resentment they built in that year versus being like, you know what, like, everybody chooses their luxuries, stop door dashing or stop eating out and save up for a little trip. Like, so even to what you guys are saying, like, it's a first world, it's a privilege, but we see so much people who just spend their money and resources so loosely that they just choose their luxuries. They like to they like to eat out 5 days a week versus eat a home cooked meal and save, you know, $10 a person or $15 a person. So I'm a real believer in, like, you know, if I'm talking to a young parent of a young, you know, 2 and under, like, you better do vacations without them. Or, like, because I don't even know how your relationship survives it, quite frankly.
Yeah.
I just don't know. It's a miracle versus it being like, you don't want to be like, oh, thank God we made it out of the 2-year-old phase. Like, that's so whack, you know? So.
No, it's true. And I'm one of those people. I am a rare person. I don't know the statistic or anything like that, but, like, I genuinely, I enjoy being a father. I enjoy my sons. Like, the amount of time my sons get on my nerves or I don't want to be around is very minimal. And most of the guys in my circle, they really love being a father, but I counsel a lot of men who don't love being a father. They don't enjoy the process. Their children get on their nerves a lot. They're in the garage 50% of the time because they don't want to be near their family. That concept, it does not even make sense to me. I have a 6-year-old. I have a 3-year-old. Like, whenever Ashley's like, hey, you're going to have the boys all day, or I'm going here away for a girls thing. You're going to have them for 1 day or 2 days. I'm good. Like, I don't get upset. I'm not like, wait, how is that possible? Like, I enjoy it. Like, and Ashley's always like, are you good with that? And I'm like, yeah, it's fine. Leave them with me. And even one day my dad joked, and my dad was like, I don't think I was ever home alone with you guys. You know, My dad said one day, like, honest, my dad was like, I don't think I've ever changed one of your guys' diapers.
Yeah, he's told me that before. He's like, I never changed a diaper in my life.
He's like, I don't think I've ever watched you guys, you know, without your mom being around, other than 2 hours, a grocery store or whatever. But he's like, a 24-hour thing. He was like, I don't think I've ever done that. I think if your mom was going away for 24 hours, you would go to my mom's, you know, or something like that. So to my dad, he's like, how do you guys do it? You know, and for me, I'm not saying it's a miracle. That for me, and maybe that's because I've therapized myself. But that's because for me, I find a lot of value in it. In being a dad. So that's coming from a guy then who says I have to get away from them because I genuinely love being around them. And so, but I know how important it is for my marriage to say, like, no, I have to step away, because I could be around them pretty much all day, and I'm happy. I even study for sermons with them running in and out. It's very rare that I go like, hey guys, I need 1 hour. You just gotta give me some silence. Like, I could study a sermon with him on my lap on his iPad. I'm working on a sermon. Like, I just enjoy it. But there's also other things that do get on my nerves that don't deal with them. There's other parts of life that for a man he may enjoy, and I'm like, I hate this aspect. I hate taking care. I hate lawn care. I hate getting out there and fixing on the house or tinkering on. I hate it. So there's those sides that are like not so stereotypical manly.
But I think that's a great perspective, obviously coming from a man, because it's just obviously in women to just be the motherly, loving, can consume ourselves with our kids and can take up all the time and get lost basically raising your kids and really not fully look at the big aspect of things. But for you as a father coming in, making it easier for me and making it more enjoyable for me to be a mother because their father is so present, that just makes it so much easier and makes me want to have our marriage and our relationship that much stronger so we can be better parents together. It's not you just saying, hey, Ashley, you handle the fort at home. This is all on you. This is what you got to do. And then I'll handle the work side of things. No, you work your butt off at work, and then you still come home and put in the work with the kids. So with that being said, we do find that it's very important for him and I to just make sure that we are intentional at every cost when it comes to building our marriage, because we can get lost in it. There have been multiple times where we haven't had a vacation on the schedule and I'm literally looking at the sky like, Lord, take me now. It's a lot. It's a lot. And so if you ever feel like you're in that moment or in that season, really sit down with your spouse and ask like, hey, how can I be better? And what would make us better? And most of the time it's getting away.
I'll challenge that just a little bit, because most women and men won't articulate they need to get away. They'll say, a lot of people don't want to leave their kids, not because they want to break from them. They just don't want to give them to anyone else. Like,
That's
I don't want my mom to watch them, or I don't want,
that's very true.
I don't have anyone.
That's
so
true.
no one's going to say, I have to get away. More than anything, they're going to say, I don't know what I need. So that's where you have to learn your spouse. You're the one outside. You have to learn your spouse, and you have, if you're a man, you not a man in terms of like be a man, but if you're a man, if you're the man, like, then be like, hey, this is what I talk to my mom. She's watching the boys for 24 hours. We're getting away. Maybe that might push your wife enough to go, okay, like you planned it, you did the work for it, you like you got, like, other than you just need your wife's help to pack the kid's bag, like you did all the other, like that might be the thing that pushed her over the edge to be like, okay, I'll trust it. Let's get away for 20 hours. Most people I know nowadays, they're just like, I don't let my kid hang out. But at the same time, I challenge it. I'm like, but once they're in first grade, you give your kids 8 hours a day to Caesar, and like you don't question what's going on over there. So you do have trust. You just have to grow in the way of compassion. And I've heard from therapists, I've heard from social workers, like you have to be cautious who you have watch your kids, and we're not saying give them to anyone, but build trust with people, find what your comfort level is. Even point you and I have done before, where we've even saved and we brought a young 20-year-old with us, and we've said, hey, though we don't have anyone available to watch our kids for 3 days or 4 days, we can throw a little change to a 20-year-old who's in college, or 18-year-old who we get a room for, and then for 4 hours a day they watch our kids while you and I still get to do what we want. So we've even done that at times that we didn't have.
We brought your mom. Yeah.
We've gone up north. We got a room for your mom, and asked her to watch the boys only for evenings so that we could do stuff. So, like, you could think through. We're not saying you have to have 48 hours uninterrupted. You just need moments and experiences that are where you and your spouse can build memories, just like you did when you were dating and you were contemplating going to Mexico together, and blah, blah. And it's like, now you're married, you don't think any of that's important. And it's more important now than when you guys were 24 trying to go to Mexico together before you were even married.
How would you recommend a couple who's gotten married and who's gotten away from each other due to life, and they weren't really disciplined in making their marriage a priority. And say you have a couple who's just like, I don't really like my spouse right now. What is it? Because I'm sure that's a case for some people. What is your recommendation of getting back to liking your spouse and liking their presence and liking being around them?
There's a lot of reasons. I think sitting down with someone might help, but if you can't sit down with someone, because there's a lot of reasons why you may not like your spouse anymore. Are they not taking care of their bodies, and was that important to you guys when you first got together? Are they has the man become not as much of a provider anymore? He's taking a back seat in the relationship, maybe towards work or maybe towards the family. So I think there's so many contingencies. I think the first thing you have to do is find out what is it that's the issue in my attraction with my spouse, because at some point you were attracted. And so try to remember, well, what was it, where did that fall off, how can we address it, what can we do? Sometimes you're unattracted to your spouse because of a character issue that's developed over the years. And so sitting down with someone may help to articulate that stuff out, or just you and them talking, with you guys talking to each other about. Me and Ashley have over the years asked very honest questions. We've gone to dinner together and we said, how can I improve as a husband? How can I improve as a wife? A simple statement like that can help bring attraction again, because you can, in a nice way, articulate. And one of the biggest moments a long time ago, it's been now many years, it was probably like first year of COVID or something, was probably the last time that we had more, we have them all the time, but this was one that was like a pivotal moment. It was just, I had told Ashley, I wish you didn't value your family's opinion sometimes over mine. I feel like sometimes you go and ask everyone, like you're asking me an opinion, and then you go ask your family's opinion, and it feels like their opinion always trumps mine, but I'm your husband. And she soaked that in and was just like, I'm sorry, you're right. Sometimes you'll tell me one thing, and it's just as much as my mom or sister saying the opposite, and I go with what they're saying. And I just said, if you're going to value my opinion, just don't make me second place every time. Every time I'm second place, And she was like, no, and so for me, it wasn't that I lost my attraction. I just knew, I just stopped caring to give her an opinion, because I felt like I was like, well, I'm just one of the 3 people she asks, as if I'm a girlfriend, not her husband. And I'm not cool with that no more. And so just kind of simply telling her, like, I'm not really good with that anymore. If you're going to ask my opinion, I want to know that my opinion carries the most weight. You don't have to do what I'm saying. I just hope that it has the most value. And she admitted, no, you're right. You're right. I do, I do that. I do always wonder what they think first of a decision I'm going to make. And I'm going to work on that. And so just sitting down and asking that question sometimes can really unbreak some things, and your attraction may grow again,
Right. And sometimes I also think that even what you were saying, it's a self-reflection. I think it's a daily self-reflection of how I am as a spouse or how I am as a husband, and genuinely caring about what my spouse thinks of me. So I care what Adam thinks of me. And the reason why I care what Adam thinks about me, and it's not if he thinks I'm perfect or if my hair's in line, whatever that may be, it's how does Adam view my character throughout the day? Is my character in alignment to what we're trying to do in this life? And that's be biblically sound, Christ love, and good parents, good friends, trustworthy, loyal. And so it's every day where I ask him questions all the time. Like, hey, how do you think I handled that? Hey, what do you think about this? So now, because his opinion now, after obviously he said, weighs so much, and I know that he cares so much about me, his opinion outweighs anyone else. It's always a self-reflection of how was I today as a wife and as a mother. That's me. That's what I think about every single day. Was I really harsh with the boys? Was I really mean to the boys? Was I short-tempered? Did I have patience? What did that look like in my day? Yeah. And so that's, for me, how I feel like I can be a better wife and mother in my relationship, that I find important for us to have a successful marriage. Yeah. And successful life. I'm always self-reflecting. Even after any incident I may had, be nice, be kind, be rude. I am such I wouldn't say I'm a people pleaser, but I'm a self-reflector of like, dang, how did I make that person feel?
Yeah.
Or how did I make my husband feel? Or what are my kids thinking about me in this moment after I just discipline them? So for me, I don't ever want that spark to die within me of self-reflection of how do I be better? And just in myself too, internally, like, do I feel good at the end of the day about how Ashley reacted or acted? So that I think it within a marriage can benefit, because sometimes we're saying, oh, my husband's not doing X, Y, and Z, but then it's also a self-reflection of what aren't you doing as well? Because most of the time it's both and, like, someone's not doing something on this end and then he's thinking you're not doing something on that end. And if you guys just aren't even communicating or even trying to get better of self-reflecting and seeing the bigger picture, you're never going to be on one accord. You're never going to be in unity. And that's what Adam and I talk about all the time, is as long as him and I are in unity, we are good. If we're out of unity and I'm acting out, or prime example, the other day I came home and I don't know why, I just came home from work and I was tired, but I was moody, angry, upset, short-tempered, yelling at the boys, get in the shower, do this. Why aren't you not listening? To go pick, you're scrunching your feet on the ground. Like, every little thing was just irritating. And Adam, all he said, he literally goes, go lay down and relax. And so he literally goes, why are you go lay down?
And we're both giving the boys a shower, which sometimes we'll like tag team, but I would like look at her and I'm like, I can give them a shower. Get away. Like, if you're going to be rude to everybody,
Yeah.
go lay down. Like,
Yeah, go take a nap.
we don't need you here right now.
Yeah.
We don't need this, you know?
And that's literally what it was. And I didn't take offense to it.
Yeah.
I didn't take it, but I
That's
listened.
his way of saying, chill
out.
Yeah.
Yeah, I didn't. And I literally, the bed was right there. I had all my clothes on. I opened up the sheets and I just laid there and I was like, and that's what I needed.
Yeah.
I needed in that moment. I don't know what my emotions were going on, but he noticed. He was like, you're getting on my nerves too. Go lay down. I literally just laid there. He's like, are you going to go to bed? I said, he's like, you need to.
Go to bed. It's 6 o'clock at night. You need to go to bed.
But it's something where I didn't take offense to that, because I knew, I self-reflected and I'm like, you're tripping, girl. Relax. Chill out. Like, you're causing chaos in a space that can be calm. And right when Adam stepped in, it was mellow. The boys are like, and then they crawled in bed. Mommy, can you read me a story? Mommy, can we watch this together? They even treated me differently. They even had more patience with me. Yeah. And so once he took the lead and basically was like, hey, let's get back in order. So I think that sometimes it's the self-reflecting that I think has benefited me in my marriage. So,
Yeah.
Well, it seems like both you guys have a level of patience that is like off the charts. Because if
It's
you're watching
him.
right now, Matthias is on his lap, chilling in the podcast. Has been trying to wave at the camera. Matthias, did you like this episode?
Yeah.
Okay, that's what's up.
What do you guys say to everybody? Say bye.
Bye.
Yeah, there's a good one. Are you going to Disneyland now?
Yeah.
Yeah? Okay. I'm not. I'm going golfing. You're going to Disneyland.
go hang out.
All right, everybody. Thanks for tuning in. I hope this episode helped you out. Thank you, everyone, for always your great feedback, sharing your own life, your own story through comments, tagging, stuff like that. We appreciate it. Hope these episodes are beneficial to you. God bless. Bye.
Bye.